Okay, so I was in shul a couple weeks ago, and a mutual friend of ours was giving the drasha. He was a guest drasha giver. I was very excited. I was even intent on staying awake for at least 75% of the drasha, which is a good number for me. And there was a latecomer to shul who comes in front, and he stands right in front of me and starts catching up davening. But he's standing right in front of me. Like,
are you talking like in
half a foot?
What's that ballpark that has obstructed views?
That Yankee Stadium.
Yankee Stadium that has obstructed views. Fenway Park has it.
Okay,
Wrigley Field
this was
has all the old ones.
The view was fully obstructed. He was like half a foot in front of me, and so I did, the ceremonial clearing of the throat, right, which is like phase one in awkward. Like, this guy's just standing there in front of me, and everyone around me is kind of like, could you just kick him or something? I don't know what to do.
Kick him?
I don't know. I don't know what to do. The guys next to me are kind of like, do something, John, and I don't know what to do. And the rabbi, our friend, is speaking, and this guy's just standing in front of me. And so somebody, a row behind me, just kind of like, hey, down in front. And the guy awkwardly turned around and is like, oh, who, me? He is the only one standing in the entire building right now. Who, me? So he gets the picture. He sits down. Is it me? Is this weird? I don't know. This is super awkward for me.
Okay.
What are you guys? What's your take here?
So I would like to say something very, I think, what's that called when two people like are sharing the same brain or have the same exact.
Yeah.
So this friend of ours, he spoke at another minyan beforehand.
Yeah. Yes, he did.
And I was sitting in my seat, and the person in front of me came late.
No.
I kid you not.
There's no way.
I stood the entire speech. I had obstructed view that entire
The whole
speech.
thing.
What is happening? What is this?
The guy showed up, and you got to understand, anybody who's listening who's not a regular has to realize this is halfway through the prayer service.
Yeah.
So they have missed most of it. So this guy came in, and then he's catching up, and he has to catch up standing. And he was standing up in front of me during that same friend speech, MH, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I know who it is also, but I'm so happy.
I don't know why he's not giving me
I
a
spoke
shout-out.
twice that day also, and neither one of you came to my speech. You went to his
No,
speech.
I went to where I was, and and that guy literally, this guy was standing right in front of me, didn't sit down. I did not clear my throat.
I'm just wondering if it was the same person standing in front of you and John also. Maybe he went.
possible.
Maybe he went along with MH to the things.
It is
to the
possible.
speeches.
It's possible that he left after catching up so that he could miss the rest of it. I mean, it's possible,
Only
but
to catch up again.
But it's just amazing that we had the exact same story
Wow.
occur. And I was a sucker. I was just like, I stink.
So I just want to shout out to both of those people. Thank you for listening to our podcast. I agree with you. I don't think it is not the right etiquette. If you are in any situation, any time there's a speech and everybody's sitting, you should sit down. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And certainly, I think, have presence of mind to know not be standing like right in front of somebody, go off to the side. The whole thing was a little weird, but I think I chickened out. I should have just gotten up, tapped him on the shoulder or something, but it was so, when it's like so awkward, you're kind of paralyzed in awkward fear. I had awkward fear. I didn't know what to do.
Well,
fear.
my reaction was like, is this a thing? Like, do people do this? Sit, you took us down.
Yeah.
Well, maybe he wanted like a personal view.
I don't know.
No, I was the only one with the personal view.
Yeah. a little too personal with my view.
Both of you had the personal view.
Yeah.
I agree. I don't think it's the right thing to do. I think that you have to be able to read the room. At the same time, I think that as we get older in life, we interact with people that cannot read the room, and those of us who can read the room get irritated. But we also have to just be mindful of the fact that there are people who cannot read the room. That's just the way it is in life.
Very
That's
good.
true. That's a fair point.
So that's it. So please sit down next time.
And thanks
Sit
for
down,
listening.
if you don't mind. Thank you for listening. And don't forget to like and subscribe to our podcast. Give us a 5-star review, even if you're not the guy standing in front of me at shul. And follow us on Instagram. And if you want to send us a topic to talk about, or if you've got a question for us, maybe you have something that you want to be Dave's question of the week, you can shoot us an email at carpoolguyspod@gmail.com.
So
If I just want to point out one thing, if you are that person,
oh gosh,
I will and write an apology note to us.
oh gosh,
I will personally send you a prize package.
I thought you were going to say read it on the air, which would have been so much better.
do that
Maybe
too.
we'll have him on the show. Friend of the
We'll
show.
read that. We'll give you 10 seconds of airtime, and I will send you a prize package.
10 seconds.
Was this person a guest, or did you know who they were?
No, I knew exactly who it was.
So
Wasn't a friend. I wasn't like a close person, but I know exactly who it was.
I'm not sure in my case if he was a guest or recently moved in or just maybe had been there and I had never met him before. But since I saw him that time, I've seen him a few more times. So TBD.
Great.
I mean, the question ends up being is it the same as when a guy stands up at a baseball game in front of you? Because, like, there you need to see. Here, you don't really need to see. You need to hear.
Yeah, but it's different. Moving on. Do you want to give a quick shout out, a refuah shalema to our good friend of the show, Ellie Rosenberg?
Inspirational friend of the show now.
Inspirational friend of the show is absolutely right. Ellie just donated a kidney. So, Ellie, thank you. And we hope that you get better soon.
And we hope to host you on the podcast for the exclusive. We want that exclusive interview. Don't go to other podcasts that will now label you as, like, I don't know, some kind of meaningful person. We want you on this show. You're one of the guys. You could be in the carpool.
Do they do that? They post everybody who donates a kidney? Seeing it, but I have been seeing it. I'm sure we all have many friends, it's an amazing chesed, which is truly tremendous. But I don't think people are being interviewed. I think I think we are an exclusive here. That's
Okay, we want the exclusive. We want it. So Uri Orenbach, friend of the show and family, perhaps, fellow DRS alumni, restaurateur, Samstead. Not that we pick favorites, but he's our favorite. Uri Orenbach, it was his birthday this week. Shout out to Uri.
Yes.
If you go into Oma's Sushi and Grill this week and mention that it was Uri's birthday, he will probably say thank you for mentioning it.
That's all you're going to get.
That's all you're going to get.
But happy birthday, Uri.
Happy birthday, Uri. Uri is a great staple of our neighborhood. It's a friend of the show, I assume. He's probably a listener.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
huge
Absolutely.
friend of this.
It's a friend of the show. The show is playing in the restaurant a day and night on a loop all day long. Uri Orenbach.
We want people to keep going.
We want
the
people to
show
keep going.
plays in his ear.
Oh, in his ear. And he puts it on mute when he picks on the phone. Uri Orenbach, it was his birthday this week. We want to say happy birthday to Uri, friend of the show, best French fries in town, at least the Fleishik French fries, meat French fries.
I don't think they're Fleischiks.
Are you sure? Yeah, are you sure they're Fleischiks?
You think that they're parv?
I
think they're meat. I think they're meat.
Okay.
You're getting him on?
I texted. He's playing pickleball.
What? He's playing pickleball.
He's
Okay, so if he calls in,
I'm
gosh.
glad somebody who runs such a delicious restaurant and plays pickleball, that's even more respect. But he did answer my question.
Uh-oh.
And for a change,
I think that they're meat, by the way. I'm going all
I'm gonna
on.
say
Going
meat
all
equipment.
in. Going all in. Oh, that's an interest. That's the hedge. That's such a hedge.
what was the hedge?
Meat
I think
equipment.
they're parv, but they're meat equipment. That's the
Separate fryer.
separate
fryer.
All right.
As I said,
Whoa.
Arif.
That is
My daughter gets the fish sticks and the fries, and there's no way that would be
makes
delicious.
sense. That makes sense.
You know what? You got to respect the separate fryer. Wow. That probably costs extra money, too.
I feel like that's a good band name. The separate fryers.
Does that mean it's the separate container or the actual oil's different?
I don't know. Maybe you should text him now that you're
everything.
texting buddies, and maybe you should get in on his pickleball game. I'm not in on his pickleball game. I don't even know how to play pickleball.
I love pickleball.
Pickleball's awesome.
Shout out to the Camp Kaylee Pickleball Club, the guys who play pickleball late at night. It was awesome. Thank you.
So show at Oma?
I haven't done a speck of exercise since then. So,
I feel like everybody who exercises gets hurt, and anyone who does not exercise has perfectly intact ACLs. Like, that's what it is. Exercise is the root of all problems. Okay, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
When did this Hanukkah Harry, or I don't know what you call it, Secret Santa, what grab bag, when did this start that it like made its way into other places besides for, let's say, other, secular workplaces?
Did you not get a good Secret Santa present?
I did, and I really appreciate it. I think I felt like a little bit like, what is this?
So I don't love it. And also when the kids all each do one, like with their friends, it drives me nuts because I need a minimum and a maximum.
Yeah.
Because
I agree.
Your kid's going to be the one that gets messed over.
So we have an app that shout out to Stephen Potag, Mr. Potag, math teacher
Mr.
extraordinaire. He runs it, and like anything that he's very organized. So there's some kind of app that you sign up for people's names, and then on the app you can pick different things that you like. And,
that's cool.
And then people could buy it from, and it like links you directly to Amazon. So it makes it so much easier for you to buy, and so much easier for you to tell people what you want. And then there's a $25 maximum, I think.
And there should be a minimum also.
There should be a minimum. I don't
There
know
has
if
to
there
be
was.
a floor. There has to be a floor.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I don't know if there was a minimum. I think it's you get whatever item you get.
You get what you get, and you don't get upset.
Just on Hanukkah stuff, I decided to go to Northwell, to like where the Islanders practice, and I saw like a bunch of Islanders leaving practice right early in the
Do
morning.
they listen to the show?
Yes, the Islanders all listen.
And
Avid listeners.
you can't go into the practice, but you can see like the players like leaving,
That's cool.
and many of them will stop. And Simi gave each player Hanukkah gelt.
Oh, that's
That's so nice.
It was so cute that they loved it. They're like, "What? Oh, thank you, chocolate." Oh, it was just it was a funny. Also, it's one of those situations where players are always asked for things.
Right.
Could you sign this? Could you do this? Could you take this? Could you? And like you're giving them what is this? Like I'm getting something. It was pretty cool. And
That is very cool.
That is very
That
cool.
is very cool.
I have
Very
two
nice.
stories that remind me of. One is a crazy story, and my grandfather, Zichron Levrach, who passed away.
Elmont, right? He's in Elmont.
He's in Elmont, yes. Ephraim Doretsky. So when he passed away, a couple of really interesting stories came up, but one of them that was really nice, and you reminded me of this story just now, and it's a very warm memory. Somebody came in who lived across the street from my parents, my father, and he said, I grew up, I was not religious growing up, and your father came over to me at one point and he said, "This is Hanukkah gelt." And he's like, "What? What is this? But somebody's giving me money?" And he said that it inspired him over the course of years, and I guess he did it other times and other things. But eventually this person did become religious. It gives a Daf Yomi Shir and credited this specific action as a nice moment.
Really?
Yeah. And I remember it being like a really special thing. Then fast forward to this past Pesach, we were at Six Flags, like all good Jews do during Pesach Chol Hamoed. And we were and there was a couple of like guys, Jewish guys who were wearing kippahs, and they were talking to the booth attendant at I think the Squirting Guns game, and they said the guy's like, "Oh, I'm Jewish," so they were like, "Oh, that's so cool," and we went over to him and like, "Do you want matzah?" So I think his supervisor was there. He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I can't take any food," and then his supervisor like walked away, and he's like, "Yeah, I'll take some matzah." So like we came by. And we gave it to him, and then he said to me, he's like, "Do you mind making a blessing with me?" It was like the greatest feeling. I felt so good, and it was so easy. And you're saying, Dave, you're giving something. It just spread this positivity. We took a picture together. He told us all these stories about him in school. It was really inspiring, and it really reminded me of like why I probably should become a Chabad rabbi in my next life.
And making somebody feel good costs you nothing.
That's so true. It costs you. You're right. It costs you nothing.
Yeah, agreed. Speaking of Chabad and Hanukkah, to bring this all together, so I had kind of a funny experience. First of all, huge shouts to Chabad of West Hempstead. They are awesome. They had the fire trucks the other night, with the menorah on top and the sirens. They drive all over the neighborhood and they give out prizes. It's it's nice, very loud, but it's nice. So I went with one of my kids to go see it, and we had fun. I took some video, my phone, and I posted it to TikTok, and I just thought it was a nice video because Chabad was like really, they were having a great time. They were dancing and singing in the streets. It was really cool, and got a little kind of anti-Semitism, sort of, from the clip. But it wasn't even good anti-Semitism. Basically, I posted the video of the fire trucks, and this guy comments on the video saying, you Jews, you're promoting wasting gas with those fire trucks. How dare you waste gas? Okay.
Oh boy.
That's something. But then another guy comments, yeah, that's right. How dare you waste it? But going on the first guy's comment, it's diesel. It's not gas. It's diesel. So you should be right. You can bash the Jews, but we should all be on the same page and be accurate. And then the first guy comes back and he said, it's all about those crazy, disgusting rabbits. And I'm like, if you're going to be anti-Semitic, at least spell it right. You can't come and be wrong about the diesel and not know the difference between a rabbi and a rabbit. But those were my bouts with anti-Semitism this week.
Speaking of difficult to spell, the word anti-Semitism is a hard word to spell also, I have to say.
Yeah, it is a hard word.
Yeah, because you think
Also,
it's
we
Semitism.
definitely make up for the gas in like the latkes, the donuts, and
Producing gas.
all the fries.
I think it's just important to say that there is equal opportunity. On December 25th, the fire department goes around with I think it's actually a Jewish guy dressed as Santa, but it's equal opportunity here in West Hempstead to drive around and scare your children twice in 1 week that something's on fire.
I would say that also, like, it's a good point. I'm all for the parade for Easter and Christmas.
Yeah.
But it definitely uses a lot more gas than or in your case diesel than the Hanukkah parade, which goes one block.
Yeah, agreed.
And shout out to Chabad. They also did, which I don't know if they do it every year. If they have done it every year, then I've totally messed up. 7-Eleven is not the only day you get free Slurpee, because the day before the gelt drop, they actually had at 7-Eleven. They were giving donuts, lighting menorah, and giving free Slurpees.
Interesting.
That is interesting. I did not know that. Thank you for telling us. It's not like we have 16 WhatsApp groups between us that you could have told us that there was free food.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Look, I mean, this is just it's a sign of the times that we live in, unfortunately, that people online feel that they can it's not even online. I mean, I don't know about you guys. I've walked in our own neighborhood of West Hempstead and walking home from shul, and people screamed out from their car while I was walking with my kids. And it makes me very much uncomfortable. And it's just not a good vibe. I don't scream at anybody else's cars. I don't know why people feel the need to scream at me.
It's good that you're not screaming at people's cars. That'd be weird if you were screaming.
We do have a game. We do have a game when
you're just starting to yell at like a parked car.
Yeah, yelling at people's cars.
We do have a game though when I don't know if you guys do this when we're walking to shul on Shabbos. We rate how poorly the people stopped at stop signs. Like when they go right through the stop sign and don't even acknowledge that it existed. That's pretty bad.
Dave, and Asher's wondering why we have anti-Semitism in America. It's all these guys.
We don't
have
signs.
You got a 5.
We don't have a sign.
And you're stopping.
It's internal conversation that we have.
Stand on their lawn and have a sign rating people running through stop signs.
That would be fun. And honestly, I'm all for that. I feel like it would come back and bite me, but I'm saying I'm all for it. I think it's a good game.
Yeah. At least Izzy's learning when to stop for a stop sign.
I don't know if he's learning when to stop. I think he's learning that people do not stop at stop signs.
When to mock people appropriately. I hear that. Okay, one thing I wanted to get into a little bit because I saw an interesting video clip this week that kind of sparked something in my mind, and I'm not going to call out the producer because I think he was very well intentioned, but I want to get into the conversation a little bit. So there were kind of two sparks to this that made me thinking about this. Basically, my wife came back recently from one of these OU birthright missions to Israel. Shouts to the OU, my bosses. Thank you, OU. And she came back. She's always wanted to make Aliyah. It's always been like a dream of hers, and for me, not as much. And she came back supercharged, and, the conversation became a lot more real. And for me, this is kind of like a little bit of a stress because she wants to make Aliyah. My kids want to make Aliyah. And I'm not quite there yet. And like, I wonder, there's this notion about Aliyah anxiety. Like, I don't know, where do you guys fall with this?
I have a lot of anxiety, as some people in the world know, because I tell people all the time, every single day. My entire family has slowly, gradually moved to Israel. My younger sister, Nava, was the first, which is unbelievable that she was the first to just pick up and say, I have no family there, but I'm moving over. And then when Ariella, my older sister, and then my parents moved over to Israel. I'm very proud of them. It's very, very challenging to have everybody over there. I do feel a lot of FOMO. And I agree with you. I in some ways, I think we go back and forth, my wife and I, all the time. Is sometimes we think about it and we're like, yeah, I really would like to make Aliyah, but at the same time, I think it provokes a tremendous amount of anxiety in me, and I don't know where to land. I mean, it's something. I think of it constantly as like it's something that's always on the back burner. It is never off, and it's always on my mind. But I don't have a resolution, and it is a source of a lot of anxiety.
So the gematria of anxiety actually equals the gematria of Aliyah. Gematria.
I mean, sure, you say it with enough confidence, right?
But I will say, I mean, I think.
And you said we couldn't find any humor in this topic.
The reality is that it's scary. Obviously, on one hand, the topic makes me nervous as heck. I always say, like, if I win this mega or a Powerball now, I win the Powerball now, I'm for sure buying property there. But
right.
it's like such a thing. Like, okay, if you're going to buy a property, then that's where you want to be.
Right.
And it's true. In reality, I would love to be there. I also feel that there's that this is not our place. Meaning, there's going to be
being America, you're saying
anti-Semitism is on such a high.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous. I think in a few years we're going to be even more of a minority, and I think it's going to be even worse in terms of walking around in the city or walking around on major streets, and I think that's a concern. Doesn't mean that I'm ready to move tomorrow, but I do think that I don't want to be the one stuck here when, God forbid, another situation happens like the Holocaust.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. It scares me for sure. For me, it's some of the fear. Sometimes it's like this the fear of being here. I also have fears safety wise of Israel. Like I don't, it's kind of like, well, there's anti-Semitism here, but there's also constant wars there, and so a lot of it's like kind of the everyday anxiety, the fear. Also, I'm like, I don't know about you guys, I'm a big creature of habit. So for me, it's a lot of like, I'm happy, I like my house and I like my whatever, right? My situation. And so it's hard to say, well, I'm just going to give all that up and go to Israel. For my wife, it's a little easier. But I'll tell you what I don't appreciate is I think that this is an everyday struggle, right? For all of us, we're kind of like regular guys, and this is a thing that we think about, but we weigh it against our everyday. And, I referenced a clip that I saw, a video clip when we started. Again, I'm not going to mention who said it, and I think it was very well intentioned, but it was people arguing, two prominent speakers arguing over, are you allowed to live in America? Or does everybody have to live in Israel? And this was sort of like a back and forth of these mega ideas. And I don't think that really represents the people.
You're right. I think that's like academic. It's very nice. I don't think that's a conversation that resonates with you or me or Dave. I think for us, it has to be rational. At the same time, it has to be an emotional conversation. I can certainly name the anxieties for myself. I am worried about my children. I don't know if it's necessarily easier one place or the other, but right. I feel like the plan here, we know the plan. You go to the elementary school, you go to high school, you go to yeshiva in Israel, then you go to college. Like the plan is kind of figured out. And I think that it doesn't mean that the plan isn't figured out there. Just I don't know the plan. So for me, that's nerve-wracking. I have 3 boys. I cannot envision a world where I would move to Israel and not send them to the army. So that it provokes a lot of anxiety in me.
Right.
And it just makes me nervous. Plus, for me personally, I find that I have a very fulfilling job and multiple jobs that I find very fulfilling. And I'm not sure that I'll be able to replicate that. I enjoy working in the school that I work in, and I feel very good about it. And it's hard to imagine. I'm not like a major league ball player that I would fit into these yeshivas and, yeshiva in Israel's. And I would miss being in a school that has like the idealistic environment, and I would miss it very much. And I don't know if it's so simple for my life to just translate over there. And I'm in awe of all the people that are picking themselves up and moving. And I want to very badly, but I don't know how to do it. And again, like you said, there is really not enough anxiety medication yet on some kind of shortage. Or if it hasn't yet been invented, the Ozempic for moving to Aliya, which is just like an anxiety drug, something like Dave was saying, the gematria of anxiety. It's very true, and it's hard. That's my personal anxieties.
I also would love a real like, and I'm not calling out my friends out there. It's the real, like, I've had some. I'm not mentioning anybody, but real conversations about what is the biggest challenge that you're facing. And I know that they're because it always seems so rosy, and I'm sure sure in many cases it is, but I can't imagine it always is.
Yeah. I think people go almost a little overcompensating. It's amazing all of the time, and it's like, I'm sure there are lots of amazing elements, and I'm sure there's lots of challenges. Like there's no.
I like West Hempstead, but there are plenty of times when I say I don't want to. I'm changing up my minion today, or I'm changing up there. I'm sick of here. I have to go away for the weekend because I'm sick of being here.
Yeah,
there's always something.
If you ask my father, he does not like the bank in Israel. Not that he's not like one of the Meraglim, but he really does not like the bank. That is his major complaint all the time. He's like, they never work.
Bagel guy also. Does he like the bagels there?
They also don't like the donuts. They really got upset during Hanukkah that the donuts in Israel are not good. They were here for a couple of days. Thank God that they were here. It was so nice to have them. But they really got their donut fix in at the beginning of Hanukkah because it was like obvious that they were going back and they were not going to have their donut fix. But it's a conversation that I have with my parents all the time. It's a conversation I have with my siblings. My sibling group that is just me and my siblings says sibling group get Asher to make Aliyah. That's what it's called. I don't know who made the title of that. Very subtle, guys. Very subtle. Very subtle. I think that it would, like Dave was saying, all things being even, if I could make a living, if I had all these things, if I knew that my kids would be okay, I think it would.
Family that's back here, that's always. I mean, I call it back here.
Well, I don't have any family back here.
Not your case, but I'm saying if you.
I have my in-laws. My in-laws and my.
I mean, close families. It's a challenge. I'm not saying it's a no. I'm not saying it's just, but it's another challenge.
Absolutely. My parents, for a long time, they did not make Aliyah. When I was growing up, there was a lot of discussions about buying property, and they did not. I think a lot of that had to do with that their parents were living here, and they were not well, and they were taking care of them. And after they passed away, that excuse was no longer there, and they picked up and they moved. Now, they left me behind, but that's okay.
We have an interesting situation. So my wife has 3 siblings who are in Israel, and my siblings are here. So it's sort of like, okay, we want to be with family, but whose family, and where do you go? And ultimately, it's a tough place for me to be, to say I'm going to be the one who stands in the way of what my wife and my kids want to do. That's also a really hard proposition. Like, do I want to be the one that's holding everybody back? And I think there's a lot of people, a lot of our friends, in fact, I know from a lot of our mutual friends, that this is something that's on a lot of people's minds, and people really struggle with the pressure of. I think also a lot of it comes from the people like Dave, you said that a lot of people make it look really easy. A lot of people make Aliyah and they are like set, right? They have a really good American job. They're going to do it remotely.
True.
And they're going to just be like in an
money
amazing
in the bank account. Some have,
that's also true.
I mean, money.
They
didn't
let's call a spade a spade. After COVID, when people were working remotely in many of their jobs, it became a very, very serious option for people. And for people like myself, where my job was never remote, it was never like a realistic option. Okay, I could do therapy remote, but it became much more realistic for a lot more people. And then we all see them, makes it more of a serious conversation. But I think similarly, we all feel that anxiety, that it's really stressful.
Also, one last thing on my end is certain kids get different supports.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you question whether or not that'll in a sense stunt their growth for some of them
Or
depending
traumatize.
depending on the
traumatize
different,
them.
but I'm saying that's in general. I'm talking about but some of the supports that they might get here
Yep.
might
Yep.
not be as strong there, especially if it's like a reading situation,
100%.
or things like that.
I think that one day, hopefully, we will make Aliyah, whether that's in a couple of years or is it down the road when I'm ready to retire. And I don't feel at home here. I do feel at home when when I'm in Israel. At the same time, I have the language barrier for me is still a challenge, and it's still something that also makes me feel less comfortable.
I will say, and I know I already said my last remarks, but I will say one more last remark.
It's okay.
Which is, there is no, and I know that a lot of it's not entirely vacation, because when I go other places, I might have a great time, but you don't feel, when you go to Israel, I mean, at least in my case, I feel it in my heart.
Yeah.
And I know it sounds very cheesy, but
No, it's good.
anybody who gets it gets it.
I don't think it's so cheesy. I don't think it's cheesy.
There's a feeling you get that you just can't describe.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it's not all vacation. You're not going to spend all your money if you go to Machne Yehuda every day. You're gonna be broke. You're not going to have any money. Most Israelis are not buying the Israeli candies that we get all excited about every single day. But the feeling you get that like comfort.
Yeah.
You really can't. You don't get anywhere else.
I remember
so
going on when I was younger. I was in YU. I went for winter break, and then we went on a tour somewhere up north. And I remember just looking out at the fields and seeing all the banana fields and all these different things. There's just the fields, and just feeling this tug at my heart of love for the land. I don't feel that feeling when I'm driving around in Middle America. There is a totally different feeling when you're there, and it's just a comfort level. And I don't have that same worry that you have, John, about the danger. I think of it more like the same fear that I have of flying, which is statistically much safer than driving a car. I think it's the same thing in Israel. Most of the most it's a safe place to live, and you don't have that all over the place.
Asher, I think you're going to become a banana farmer. I think that's your next career.
I don't see that happening so much because I think you need to have some vertical ability, and I am very not tall. So
Asher gazing over the banana fields.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, I'm not going to help you. When we went on when a bunch of guys went on a mission shortly after October 7th.
Yeah.
And I don't know where we found this volunteer site from, but shout out to all the guys who went on that Chabura mission. But we went to some place in the West Bank where they were removing rocks for some future vineyard. And I moved one rock and I'm like, and I just laid down and I just relaxed. I'm sure if anybody sends pictures,
there are so many pictures of you laying down in random places.
With this particular, there is a picture of me just laying down, watching everybody do hard labor. And you had rabbis, Rabbi Lesser was sitting there with this big boulder trying to get this thing out of the ground. Everybody's working hard, like sweating. And I'm sitting there just relaxing.
I'm picturing everybody on the trip talking about their favorite part of the Torah. And everybody's throwing these different things. And Dave's like, I like the part where Yaakov lays down on the rock and uses it as a pillow. I relate to that the
most. That is how I connect to the land, through napping.
Hey, is there a place that you guys would want to live? Do you have a neighborhood that you're like, if I did go, that's where I'd want to go?
Thank you so much. Thank you for raising the anxiety level even higher. As if it was enough.
No, I'm saying I have no idea. I have literally, I have no idea where I
have no idea, but I will say one thing. I once said to somebody, I want to live in the most obscure place in Israel, where the kids have those big srugis. And
you want that?
And then someone's like, no, you don't. You won't have anybody to talk to. You won't have anybody to have a conversation. Nobody could relate to.
So I think I would. People talk about this all the time. Is would you want to live whether it's like in an Israeli town like you're describing, or would you want to live in like Beit Shemesh, Ramat Beit Shemesh, where you hear a lot of Anglo-Saxons? I would want to live there, even though people are like, oh, it's like living in America. It's not like living in America. Let's be honest with yourself. You are living in Israel. But what's wrong with feeling comfortable and hearing language that you are comfortable speaking and living in Israel also? That would also be nice.
Also, can we stop with the Anglo stuff? It's Americans. Like, I mean, the Brits can be
My
somewhere...
parents are friends with these Brits, and oh my God, my father told me a story while we were driving today. I cannot even repeat it on the podcast. He used a word. I'm like, Abba, I'm sitting with my kids in the car. He's like, yes, but this word doesn't mean the same thing in England. I'm like, I know, but in America, it means something totally not appropriate. And now I'm going to have that conversation with my kids. It had to do with rugby. It's something to do with rugby.
Yes, I knew that.
Yeah. I remember. So now we could, instead of cutting out, you could. So I remember you're lying down. David's showing us him lying down.
I just imagine this Israeli community, and like for those listening, Dave's showing us a picture of him lying down in Israel. And there's just some like little kids running around, and somebody walks to like Miza, and they're like, "Hu Yechezkel? Yechezkel Yoshen al Ritzpa Achshav."
John, with all due respect, you really got to work on your humor.
I know. I have no. My mother would be so embarrassed.
You sounded like a Fabio kind of variation of Israeli.
Fabio.
Ooh, Yechezkel. Ooh,
Yechezkel Yoshen.
Ooh, Yechezkel.
My mother's Israeli. She'd be so embarrassed right now. She would just be like, "Oh, disgraceful."
There are things though that I love about the culture of flying to Israel, going to Israel, being in Israel. Like, for example, the seats on El Al are like optional. Like, I was sitting down in my seat. I was literally sitting down, and a guy walks over to me and goes, "Ato yoshev po?" I'm like, which means, are you sitting here? I was like, yes, I am currently sitting down. Ato rotze lashev shama? I'm like, do you want to sit over there? I'm like, lo, ani מאוד שמח בכיסא שלי. He's like, are you sure? I'm like, yes, I am in my seat. And he wanted me to move because there was someone else that he didn't want to sit next to. I've had that negative experience before, and I have learned my lesson. I was very proud of myself. I was not a pushover, and I learned my lesson. And then other times when I was on the plane, I offered a cookie to the stewardess, and I said, Ata rotze ugia? And she goes, Ata rotza! I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. And it's like, it's insulting. But like, there is no gender changes in English, and it's very challenging.
Well, it's not as bad. I know this is off topic, but we were talking to my family. I was there for Hanukkah, and when I once flew. I mean, I fly Spirit. I know it's going to be a shot here. And they once had to put me separate from the family for weight distribution. And they put my family on one side of the plane.
No
and
way.
They put me on the other.
No.
I promise.
Really?
Weight distribution.
They're like smaller planes, though.
It's not a smaller plane. It's a regular size plane.
Are these
I'm trying to help
the
you, okay?
1950s?
They said, Asher, it was the best flight I ever had. I
You
never
have to
watched
watch
it,
your kids.
just sitting by myself.
They're like, I want to come to you. Nope, you can't. The
Sorry,
plane is
you don't
perfectly
want the plane
balanced.
to tilt.
Oh my God. Are you guys plane sleepers? I can fall asleep on an airplane like that.
I
My
can't.
wife hates it because the kids will be like
cannot.
screaming and going crazy, and I'll be like, sit down, and 3 seconds later,
God.
I'm out.
I hate sleeping on the plane. Every time the plane shakes, I'm like, we're gonna drop. We're gonna drop. We're dropping. We're dead. I'm dying. I hate it so much. It's the worst.
We had turbulence. I think it was last year going to Florida, and I forgot which one of my kids. But we were going a few years ago, might have been, and we're like, wee.
I hate turbulence.
And I
so
was
much.
cracking up because I wasn't nervous, and she was, and my wife's holding on for dear life. The other kid,
I like flying better during the day because I could see that the land is not like coming closer. Whereas at night, like I'm envisioning we're gonna just crash right into the ground. It's horrible.
Nechama's like you.
So much.
She is terrified of flying, and she told me before the Israel trip, she's like, I'm so scared that we're going to crash into the ocean, and then the sharks are going to eat us. And I'm like, I think that if you crash into the ocean, I don't think you have to worry a lot about the sharks at that point.
well, that was like it's, and this is horrible. So it's really, I mean, we're really going far from any discussion. But there was a flight that crashed into the Everglades a few years back.
Oh gosh.
And that's the worst, because if
That's
you
worse than
survive the
sharks?
crash, if somebody survives the crash
Alligators.
into the Everglades, then you get killed by the alligators and the snakes.
Yeah. I have a
Right.
better question. Now that
I
we're like
actually
so
think it
far
would
away.
be creepier surviving the Everglades and being in the Everglades.
I think I could fight an
than the
alligator.
crash.
Okay, here's my question. I know that someone in who's a listener is going to say there is a difference. That their snout is different, but is there really a difference between crocodiles and alligators?
Yeah, 100%.
Is it this? I think it's the same thing as a hurricane versus typhoon.
100%.
They're the
educate
same
us.
animal.
Educate us. Asher,
Huh?
Dave's going to educate us.
Go ahead, Dave.
First of all, the snout is much pointier on a crocodile.
They're like okay, so they're like
They're not identical.
so one's a Jewish animal and one's not a Jewish animal. Okay, like-
And the other thing is, I believe that crocodiles are a lot more aggressive.
Really?
Yeah.
So I should own an alligator.
Yes, that's the takeaway.
Yeah, that's the answer. I mean,
The takeaway of today's
I
show.
think they're the same animal. Okay, so one has a smaller, like a narrower snout. Seriously, hurricanes and typhoons. It's just because one is on one side of the earth and the other's no different.
Okay, right now, what would you rather do? Would you rather
This is
crash
the question
into
of the
ocean?
day. But this
Crash
is the
into
question.
the ocean and
I had
die.
a question of the day.
Crash
you
into
have
the
a
ocean
question
and die
today?
immediately,
Yeah.
or
No.
crash into the
I'm
Everglades
telling you, no.
and fight the alligators.
It's the 2 minutes before you crash that's the worst 2 minutes ever.
Right, but I'm saying, what would you rather do? Would you rather die in the ocean or crash in the Everglades
And survive.
have a fighting chance? But you have to fight the alligators, but you're probably badly injured. So, like,
It's gonna be
You're
bad
not
no matter
fighting
what.
unless they find you in the next hour. You're not surviving.
You're not surviving the alligator.
but they know where you are. Your plane is.
It
Like,
doesn't matter. The
They
Everglades
don't
are
find it
massive.
right away.
Everglades are massive.
it's not like Atlantic Ocean massive. Massive.
It's
Yeah,
still
but
going to
you
be
can
hard to
survive
find
the
you.
Atlantic Ocean until somebody comes.
No, if you crash in the Atlantic Ocean, end of the story. No one's surviving that.
What do you mean?
These water
The-
landings.
They
that
made
prep
a
you for?
movie, Castaway. Tom Hanks survived the ocean.
One guy.
Yeah.
He did for years.
True story.
But not everybody has Wilson.
I don't know if it's a true story. What?
Oh my
Not
God.
Everybody
everybody.
has Wilson.
Wilson.
Yeah.
I
The
love
hero
that
of the
movie.
story.
It's such a funny thing. That movie, I think, is very polarizing. I love that movie. I love it. It's a great acting movie. Great.
Because he didn't have to say anything. For
Yeah,
like
but like
3
you
hours.
really deeply connected with that ball. So nice. It's so sad when the ball like leaves. at the
I
end.
wonder how it really did officially.
I think it did well because anything Tom Hanks is in
Anything.
is good.
Yeah, anything Tom
He's
Hanks.
good. He's just good. He's a good guy. He's a good actor. Probably in the Epstein files. Anyway, moving on.
So we went from Aliya to crashing and fighting alligators to Tom Hanks and the Epstein files. It's great.
All right, Dave. What is your question of the
I
week?
just want to go on record by saying we don't believe that. This is a made-up thing. Did do well. I should just spewed something that we don't believe
Yeah.
in.
I disavow. I'm disavowing.
Disavowing
myself from
Usher.
this.
Just disavow me altogether.
Okay.
I did want to do an episode on conspiracy theories. I did.
We should. We
It
should.
bothered me.
I would love to hear from people. Just to come back for a second to the Aliyah Anxiety conversation.
Yes.
If you're still listening at this point, thank you. But if you are still listening at this point, I would love to hear. Shoot one of us a text. You can message us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or send us an email. I would love to hear. Do you have an Aliyah Anxiety? Where do you fall? In this,
I think
in
you
this
should
whole
also
mess?
we should rate it like 0 to 10. 0 being like not so like
Yeah.
it is nothing, and 10 being like dying a horrible death in the
Yeah.
Everglades by getting eaten by an alligator. No, but 10 being horrible. It's like the horrible
Yeah.
anxiety. But I think that it's a real thing, and I like you were saying, John. It's not addressed so much on the podcasts that talk about the theoretical and the
Yeah.
philosophical and the halachic. The anxiety part is a real thing, and I think
Okay, I
it's
just
something
want to
that
point out.
yeah.
Oh, sorry. I had an ADD moment. Were you guys talking?
No, we're just recording a podcast.
I'm sorry.
Dave zoned out like 10 minutes ago.
Civi came over to me,
Oh,
running
gosh.
over. I thought something happened.
You're
Because, like, obviously, why else would a child be running in here?
Yeah.
making Aliyah. Oh my God. This is
said,
it. This is the moment.
I'd say she asked chat or whatever, one of those bots. I'd say crashing into the ocean might give you a slightly better chance of surviving, mainly because rescue teams could potentially spot you more easily, and there's more open space to deploy emergency equipment.
I disagree.
Everglades, on the other hand, are super rugged terrain with gators, snakes, and dense vegetation. No, not exactly the most welcoming place to be stranded.
Interesting.
I will take my chances
Plus,
fighting the
Perch
dense
might be
vegetation.
tougher in the swampy environment.
Okay.
No. If you crash into the ocean, you're dead. That's game over. What rescue operation? There's no rescue.
I am going on record again. The 2 minutes before you dead over is the worst 2 minutes ever. You know it's coming. It's horrible. It's awful. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
All right.
I'm going to dream about this. I'm literally, again, like you last night. I dream about this every night.
And the Carpool Guys.
Dave, what's your question of the week?
I resent that. What's the question of the week?
I'm sorry, the question of the week.
So I want to give a shout out.
And which person who sent it in this week, Dave? Which real person sent it in?
There was I just want to give a very nice mazel tov to Moshe Niren. Got married to Goldblatt from Teaneck. I don't know I forgot the first
Mazel
name.
tov.
And my friend Lee was the father of the chassan, and the question was brought to me by DT of Madison, Brooklyn. Originally of Madison, Brooklyn. DT of Madison, Brooklyn.
Yeah, friend of the show.
Asked himself.
DT.
If there was only one food. If there was only one food at the shmorg, what should it be?
Only one food at the shmorg.
What should it be? DT of Madison.
Those are.
Thank you.
Isn't those your initials, and aren't you from Madison?
That's correct.
Okay.
If there was only one food,
It's somebody else. It's a hard
I will
question.
say I once heard, though, before I answer this question, Rabbi Benovitz once said to me, who is my Rebbe in 11th grade, then he made Aliyah, so on topic. He said,
shout out.
Yeah, hashtag shout out. So he once said that you should not get a drink at a smorgasbord. You should have a fruit. And that way you can hold 2 plates with food. And if you get a drink, you are now limiting your opportunity to get more food. And that resonated with me. It did.
And that's great. That could go into my wastebasket.
Okay, fine. What would be? I think I would either go poppers or like ribs.
Just get
Ribs.
I said one thing.
One thing?
I'm out on ribs at a wedding. I love ribs. Too risky for me.
Really?
Because there's a 0% chance I'm not dropping
Full
it on my
disclosure, I had the shawarma.
Dave is showing his shirt. He's showing his shirt on camera.
But I say, okay, is this supposed to be a one-word answer kind of thing? I say poppers.
Yeah, I'm going to say...
Yeah, poppers.
I'm going to go with like the General Tso's chicken.
Yeah.
Because the poppers, I'll tell you why I'm going to hesitate on the poppers. Then you need a drink.
Yes.
And like you don't know what's around. And I like the...
I hear that, but I will correct you slightly, just slightly. I don't think any catering hall is having General Tso. I think it's going to be sesame chicken.
Sesame chicken. Okay, sesame chicken. Are they not the same thing?
They are.
They're just sesame seeds on sesame chicken.
No,
saying,
but also
like-
General Tso is supposed to be a little spicier, really officially, but it's not.
But by the way, acknowledging all of our friends out there in Radio Land who have sesame allergies. Yeah. I don't
They
know,
wanna
poppers.
go to
I'm going to go
Sesame
poppers.
Street?
I'm going to go poppers.
Okay. Poppers. So you guys are poppers. I'll say sesame chicken. I'll change from...
Dave, could you come up with a song for the question of the week?
I'm changing it to sesame chicken.
The question of the week.
That was amazing, John.
It's a terrible song. All right, everybody. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that, smash that subscribe button. Give us a 5-star rating. 5 stars, not 4 stars. Follow us on Instagram. Send us an email at carpoolguyspod@gmail.com. And I don't know, anything else?
That's it.
Okay.
Put it in the books.
All right. Thanks, guys. Feel better, Ellie. We love
You're
you.
telling me to feel better.
We love you.
Dave, feel better. I hope
Dave,
your
feel
cold is
better.
better. It's right up there with Ellie's donating a kidney, and Dave had a cold.
Which could be worse.
Oh, yeah. All
Where'd he
right.
go?